did you meet your ex-fiancée, Michelle Williams, and what was it that attracted you to her?
We met in October 2006. I was travelling to take up employment from running my own business. I bumped into her, and physically she was a very attractive girl. She was very pleasant and had an incredibly good sense of humour.
When did the assault start? When were you first attacked by Michelle?
The first assault happened between Christmas and New Year in '06, shortly after moving into an apartment in Wolverhampton, and it was as a result of an argument over a friend.
And what happened?
She'd accused me of paying more attention to her friend and basically punched me in the face, resulting in a very badly swollen black eye, my right eye.
Did you tell anyone about the attack?
I had to go into work the next day, and I'm afraid I told work that it was caused by myself walking into a cupboard door accidentally and covered the matter up.
Why do you think she did this to you?
I have no real full understanding of why, but certainly from what I saw, she seemed generally pleased with herself at the injuries that she caused me, because she would show them off to friends as if to be proud of what she'd achieved. I think it satisfied or pacified her in some way.
You were with Michelle for around a year. During that time, can you tell us some of the things she did to you?
Sure. We actually were together almost 18 months, but the violence lasted for almost 12 months, and I'll just give you a brief. She boiled a kettle of water not once but twice and poured it over my groin. She assaulted me with a steam iron on 3 separate occasions, causing permanent scarring. She attacked me with a claw hammer that broke due to the ferocity in which she assaulted me. She used a number of household implements, a magnum of champagne, which was crashed across my knees, glass vases from the kitchen. She used a wok. She used a flex plug from a hoover. She used several hoovers, the plastic piping, and assaulted me around the head. She used a kitchen knife. She stubbed cigarettes out on my chest and on my penis. A whole host of implements, and in the whole time I was with her, in excess of 100 assaults would not be unreasonable. As a result of those injuries, I have permanent scarring on my lower left arm, my upper right shoulder, the middle of my back. I have permanent scarring towards my right eye. Yesterday I received confirmation that I will require reconstructive surgery on my nose and cheekbones as a result of the fractures that I received in the final assault, which took place in April 2008. I've got marks on my chest from where the cigarettes were stubbed out, so I have permanent scars that will stay with me. They just simply won't ever go.
How did you feel at the lowest point of this relationship?
At the lowest point, I generally was ready to end my life. I had become totally depressed and anxious and became suicidal to the point where I'd actually planned what I was going to do. And it was only as a result of the anonymous phone call that stopped that happening to the police.
And how did the police get involved?
The police attended the property as a result of an anonymous phone call from a neighbour who was so concerned about my physical well-being. And it was the work of the police at that particular time that extradited me from what was the horror of 10 Gosport Road.
And how were you treated by the authorities?
The police, and in particular the domestic violence team, have provided me with tremendous support. With regard to the police, they were always very keen that they were going to see that charges were put forward that represented the gravity of the situation that I'd experienced. The domestic violence team were in constant touch with me to make sure that they were there on the end of the phone and that I knew that, and have continued to this day to offer me emotional support as a result of the trauma that I experienced.
Can you tell us what sentence Michelle received?
Yeah, Michelle was sentenced to 7 years as a result of being found guilty of 6 individual charges.
1 in 6 men in the UK are affected by domestic violence. What advice would you give to them?
The advice I would give to anybody, but particularly males as well, is that you have absolutely nothing to feel ashamed about. You're the victim in this and you're not to blame. But also find the strength to leave, because help is there for you. There is tremendous support. You just need to take that first brave step and leave. And I can promise you, you will not look back. And I'm living proof of that.